G'day guys, my name's Steve from Tune Off Adventures. We're going to take you for a walk around our boat today and show you what it's all about. It's a Yellowfin 6500 made in Australia, full plate boat, and it's a 2012 model, so it was starting to get just a little bit long in the tooth with a few things, mostly like your wiring and electrical stuff and a little bit of corrosion here and there. So we decided this year that for this big trip down the coast, we're going to give it a bit of an upgrade. Hey guys, so we're out the front of Edge Marine. It's a big day, you've been waiting a while for this. New motor going on the back of the boat. So let's go in and see how big it is. So that's it, the motor is off the back. So now to open the new one and see what we got, see what a big deal is.
That big girl. Look at that shiny new outboard. Shane.
So that's her on the fork, ready to go on the back. Big Suzuki 200 horsepower, so pretty pumped about that. The old motor was 150. The 200 should get up and go really good. So yeah, today's the big day. We have had the boat at Edge Marine, local Suzuki dealer, for a day and a half now. We showed you earlier in the episode them fitting it up, and now it's ready to go. All the dash should be fitted off. We'll show you that when we get there, and ready to put on the water. Basically just a water test. Anyone who's bought a new outboard before, this is my first one, but I've had mates who have. Know that they chuck them on the water, check the prop's the right size, check that it reaches the maximum RPM they want it to, check the motor doesn't cavitate and might have to be put lower or lifted up, so it's just basically a test to check that everything's running fine and they've it's correctly propped and correctly fitted. So yeah, but what I'm most excited for is how fast it can go. Go on.
Yeah, fuck it.
Go around that way and then just head back out and then cruise back up.
Yep. Speed mode activated.
What do you reckon about our new fishing shirts, mate?
Yeah.
These are our True North ones.
That's alright.
Not bad fabric, eh?
Yeah, it's
light.
good. It's thin. Yeah, it's not that dense stuff. Suzuki power, mate.
Suzuki
exactly
power.
That one.
Yeah, right.
I've still got at least another quarter of trim all the way
wow.
before we get to the top.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So now, I suppose, if you've got one,
yep,
we can swap that over, see how that goes. So mate, so new prop on.
New prop.
So that's a 21 pitch.
Yep. So we just took off our 19.
Yep.
Now I've got the 21 on. They're slightly smaller outside diameter.
Yep.
Because it's going up in 2 inches of pitch.
Yep. So basically, if people don't know, that the 21 is the degrees of pitch. So it's how much your blades went over.
Yeah. When the prop does a 360 spin and it's cutting through the water, like how it's threading like a screw goes into timber.
Yep.
For one rotation, it's going to travel 21 inches.
Oh, so it's not 21 degrees of pitch.
Yeah.
It's 21 inches of travel.
So that's why they call it 21 inch pitch prop.
Gotcha. There you go. I learned something too.
Yeah.
Biggest upgrade of that whole thing is definitely the new 200 horsepower Suzuki on the back.
Now that is an absolute game changer. We came from a 150 horsepower, so the extra horsepower there to push the boat is really changed it for us. The other advantage of that 200 horsepower that we didn't think we could get is just the incredible fuel economy. We went from about 1.2 kilometers per litre loaded. This trip we averaged about 1.6 kilometers per litre. So the other upgrade we did was our brand new Lowrance HCS 12 Pro sounder. We used the side scan for, finding holes on the bottom, finding schools of fish, even just, going across the edges of anchorages and checking if there's any rocks and stuff. So really valuable feature to have. The C-Maps mapping on that is incredible. We use that for getting in and out of rivers. It gives you a full satellite view of river mouths, land, reef structure, all sorts of stuff. So you can see where the sandbars are and navigate creeks a lot more easily with that. When we did the repower, we changed the throttle on there a bit, and some of the gauges to the Suzuki gauges. Now that meant we had a few holes in the dash there, and Edge Marine and Cairns were fantastic. They got a couple of little filler plates cut that stuck on over the dash and allowed us to do a whole new dash layout.
Next thing we're going to chuck on there is GME VHF radio, the GX750, the little marine stereos, GR350BT, flush mount speakers in white, GS620W. We'll chuck all the links down in the description if you want to check any of those out. A few holes in the dash for that, so let's get stuck into it. All done. Probably only tip cut a little bit bigger than the hole. The template's fairly tight. The radio in the dash.
We've got GME VHF. It's mounted on the dash. A must have on a boat, especially trips like this where you could get in potential issues and you need that VHF to contact emergency services. Along with that, we also carry our boat EPIRB and a PLB, both from GME as well. Another little thing we chucked on there was a little Scanstrut wireless phone charger. We found that having USB ports and stuff on the dash, they'd always fail. This is a fully sealed unit. We can put the phone straight in there, wirelessly charge it. Another addition, we got rid of the old school anchor, just the rope and chain and an anchor on the end, and Mark throwing it in and out every time. And we've gone to the Sav winch, electric winch. It has just been fantastic. We had a really hard anchorage a couple of days ago where we dropped the anchor 3 or 4 times and we were just dragging. We had a really hard rocky bottom, and doing that by hand would have been bloody exhausting. So having that winch there and just the winch doing all the work for you, you really can't beat it. Another part of the upgrade, the Minn Kota. It's not something that I think Minn Kota endorse. But what I've done is I've bought the latest head right there from the Minn Kota with the advanced GPS. I've been told that works on the old Minn Kotas to upgrade it, so you get new head and the new remote, so they can do a few new modes, link it with the One Boat network, and lets you like go to spots on the app and stuff like that. So pretty excited to chuck that one on. Should be a really easy mod, so I'll talk you through it. So I bought these parts from America. You can't buy them from Australia, and I got them sent, no address on there, but I got them sent to my US because they don't ship to Australia. So in the box comes the new head, so that'll just replace the old head on the Minn Kota there, and then comes the new advanced GPS navigation wireless remote. Not a super cheap upgrade, but look, it cost me about $540 US. So by the time it landed in Australia, I think it was around that $900 mark. Jury's probably still out on whether that's going to be worth it or not, but it's definitely cheaper than upgrading to a whole new unit, which I didn't really want to do. This one's only a couple of years old, still going fine, so yeah, just a small upgrade. Let's do it.
Motor connected.
There you go. That was probably one of the easiest upgrades I've done. Literally unplug a plug, plug another plug back in, and put some heat shrink on it. Considering a new Minn Kota is about $5,000 to upgrade to the latest model for about that, $1,000. And then I'm going to try and sell the old one as a spare part. I'm sure someone will have a broken part, so get a little bit of money back for that and got myself a new model Minn Kota. Pretty happy about that.
That allows you to drift with the current, saving power, with your battery. Before you would have to motor against the current, which would use more power, or you would have to try and come with the current, which generally meant that you were just moving too fast to fish. So great little feature. Not going to be for everyone, but for that sort of estuary fishing with bigger tide and bigger run, we think it's a great feature. So the boat itself, a couple of the features, we've got a live bait tank at the back, so if we net some live bait, we can throw that in the tank there. It's also got a deck wash, bait board up the back. It's got rod storage for 9 rods, as well as gunnel rod storage. I think there's another 8 gunnel rod holders. Up the front, we've got a full front storage box. That was a custom thing that we got added on just to suit the way we use the boat. So there it is. That's our yellowfin center console boat. We absolutely love it. If you've got any questions about it, chuck them in the comments down below and we'll try and answer them. If you're keen to check out us using the boat, go back, look at our past episodes. We've got, river fishing, island trips down the coast, as well as heaps of full driving, tinny floats, heaps of stuff. Follow along. I'm sure you'll have a laugh and enjoy yourself. Cheers.
Suzuki power.